Think you know the truth about space? Well, chances are you've been lied to. From exploding astronauts to the so-called dark side of the moon, some of the most popular space facts people swear by are actually complete myths. And the real truth is even crazier than the fiction. Space has always been one of the greatest mysteries, and with mysteries comes some pretty wild misconceptions. From the sun's true color to what really happens if you step outside a spaceship without a suit, a lot of the so-called facts we grew up believing are actually myths. In this video, we're going to uncover the most common space myths people still believe, and trust me, the truth will completely change the way you see the universe. Space has always been a source of wonder and mystery, and for centuries, humans have looked up at the stars with awe. But with that awe comes a lot of myths, ideas passed down, exaggerated, or simply misunderstood. Even today, with all of our satellites, telescopes, and space missions, people still believe things about space that just aren't true. So let's dive in and separate the facts from the fiction. One of the biggest myths you've probably heard is that there's no gravity in space. People often think astronauts are floating around the International Space Station because gravity doesn't exist out there. But that's not true at all. In fact, gravity is everywhere in the universe. What's really happening is that the astronauts are in free fall, orbiting Earth at the same speed the planet curves away beneath them. That creates the illusion of weightlessness. So next time you see an astronaut drifting in 0G, remember, they're not escaping gravity, they're actually falling with it. Another popular myth is that the dark side of the moon is a place of eternal night. It sounds mysterious, right? A half of the moon we never get to see, cloaked in darkness forever? But the truth is, the moon doesn't have a dark side at all. Every part of it gets sunlight, just not at the same time. What we call the far side of the moon simply faces away from Earth, but it still experiences day and night as the moon rotates. So that hidden half isn't shrouded in darkness, it just doesn't wave hello to us. Let's tackle another one, the idea that space is silent. Movies often show astronauts floating in eerie silence, and while it's true that sound can't travel through the vacuum of space, silence isn't the whole story. In fact, space is alive with activity. There are radio waves, plasma waves, and even vibrations detected by spacecraft instruments. If you could translate those signals into sound, space would actually be buzzing with strange cosmic noises. The silence we imagine is more about how our ears work, not about what the universe is doing. Here's a myth that comes from sci-fi movies. If you step into space without a suit, you'll explode instantly. Dramatic? Yes, but scientifically inaccurate. In reality, your body wouldn't pop like a balloon. What would happen is far scarier, in a slow, horrifying way. Without pressure, the air in your lungs would rush out. You'd lose consciousness in about 15 seconds, and within a couple of minutes, the lack of oxygen would kill you. Your skin and blood wouldn't boil instantly, but your body would swell slightly from the pressure difference. So no, you won't explode, but trust me, you definitely need that spacesuit. Now let's talk about another common belief, that the sun is yellow. We've all seen drawings of a bright yellow sun with rays stretching out, but scientifically, the sun is actually white. It only looks yellow or orange from Earth because our atmosphere scatters light. If you were to look at the sun from space, without frying your eyes, it would appear as a brilliant white star. All those beautiful sunrise and sunset colors, that's Earth's atmosphere painting the picture, not the sun itself. And speaking of stars, there's a myth that we can see millions of them with the naked eye. That might feel true on a clear night when the sky looks endless, but the actual number is much smaller. At most, in perfect dark sky conditions, you might see about 5,000 to 6,000 stars. The rest of the universe is out there, of course, but we need telescopes to glimpse it. Our eyes just aren't powerful enough to see millions of twinkling lights. Another fun one, people often think the Great Wall of China is visible from space with the naked eye. It's one of those facts that's been repeated so often it feels true. But in reality, astronauts have confirmed that it's extremely hard to see without help because it blends into the landscape. You can see cities, roads, and airports more easily than the Great Wall. So while it's an incredible human achievement, it's not quite the landmark you'd spot while orbiting Earth. And here's one last myth. Black holes suck everything like cosmic vacuum cleaners. That's not how they work. Black holes don't go around gobbling up stars and planets randomly. Instead, they follow the same rules of gravity as any other object. If our sun were magically replaced by a black hole of the same mass, Earth would keep orbiting just as it does now. It wouldn't suddenly be swallowed. Black holes only become destructive if you stray too close to their event horizon, where gravity is so strong not even light can escape. The universe is full of wonders, but it's also full of misconceptions. Myths about space can be exciting and dramatic, but the real science behind them is even more fascinating. The truth shows us that reality doesn't need exaggeration. It's already stranger, deeper, and more incredible than any story we can invent. The universe doesn't need exaggeration to be fascinating. The real science behind space is far stranger and more incredible than the myths we've carried for years. If you learned something new today, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more mind-blowing facts, and let me know in the comments which space myth surprised you the most. Until next time, keep looking up. The cosmos is full of secrets waiting to be uncovered.